Michelle, your topic is loving the difficult man when you want him to change and you don't want to leave. Please join me in welcoming Michelle Vasquez.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Wow, an interesting topic given that there's only two women in this room, and I'm supposed to speak on loving the difficult man when you don't want to leave. That's going to be very interesting. Well, I have to say that keep in mind that the people that I generally work with are women, and a lot of times my sex tends to complain. We are the keepers of the relationship, and we want to fix our relationship, which generally means fix our spouse. So would you imagine, for an instance, that there are more women here and that I'm talking to them and that they're connected to you somehow, so you're going to get the benefit of what I'm going to say to them about how to deal with you. Because one of the things that I will tell you is that if you're a woman and you are having trouble with your husband, a lot of times what you need to do is shift your perspective. Because maybe he's not as difficult as you think he is, but maybe the difficulty lies within the way that you are thinking. And I'm going to ask you right now to not believe everything that you think. I'll say that again. Do not believe everything you think. And I'll give you an example. I am a recovering backseat driver. My late husband got the brunt of my backseat driving, which was not very happy or healthy. And he was a very easygoing guy, so he let me get away with a lot of bad habits for a long time. That is, until we went to Dr. William Glasser's workshop all day long. And Dr. Glasser taught me that I was guilty of about 4 of the 7 deadly habits of external control. Those habits are criticizing, blaming, complaining, nagging, threatening, punishing, and rewarding or bribing to control. I think my favorite was criticizing and blaming and complaining. So that's 3. Probably nagging too. So one of the things that I did, and I teach a lot of my couples this too, because I've got a lot of backseat drivers, both male and female. What I do is I teach them to change the way that they think about driving, which is, if I'm the passenger, we'll get there when we get there. Now, I'm one of those people that I have to get there on time. But you know what? If somebody else is driving and they chose to drive on the freeway at 5 o'clock, what am I going to do? Is it really going to make things better if I complain the whole time? Is it going to get me closer to my spouse? If I say, you should have turned this way, watch out, you're not braking fast enough. Did you see the person behind you? Why don't you go around this slowpoke? How is that going to help anybody? And how is that going to help me feel closer to my husband? Perhaps the difficulty lies within myself. So, dealing with the difficult man, maybe I'm the difficult one. When I'm working with my women who are complaining and complaining and complaining about their husbands, I turn it around and I say, would you rather be right or would you rather be in harmony? And a lot of times they don't like that question at all, because the truth is, perhaps I need to look at things differently. I also need to think about, what was it like when I first met this man? He was my knight in shining armor. And there were things that I really enjoyed about him. So why now are things different? Well, the honeymoon is over. Okay, fine. But why does the honeymoon have to be over, and what can I do differently so that I can get those loving feelings back? Because is it really true that the man that I married is not the man that I married? Okay, we do need to be responsible for our own behavior. We also need to mind our manners. And this is one of the things that I talk about in my book, is the things that you did when you were dating are the things that you can still do. And you need to remember those things so that you can continue to create your very own happily ever after. So Is your man really difficult? Maybe not. Maybe the things that when you were first together were quirks and you go, oh, that's so cute, are now the things that are grating on you. Why is that? Ask yourself, okay, why are you feeling annoyed with this man that at first you had such love for? Maybe there's something within you that you need to look at, because really he's the same person. He may be showing you a little bit more of the dressed down version, where maybe before when you were dating he was more dressed up. And granted, if you're men here listening to me, you know that it is good to continue to mind your manners, do those things that were so loving, and the things that made her say, oh, he's my knight. Do those things again. But as far as you ladies here go, keep in mind that when you change your mind about something, when you challenge what you think and don't decide that you believe it just because you have the thought, you're going to be a lot happier and a lot healthier in your marriage. And you're going to feel better about your knight. Because you know what? He's not really a frog. He's still your knight in shining armor. So that is, in a nutshell, what I would advise to you if you were my client. And I have really enjoyed